I think I've got it. I think I've. And trying to think up the mythology, thinking of the animals and stuff. She's gonna sit him on a rock and she's gonna tell him about this legend. And we'll be like, oh my god, we can make it so fun. We can have it so in this in this fictional village or town or something, every year they do this where the maidens, the unmarried women, the unmarried girls in there look for this rock under the moon, or look for this moon rock or something. Look for the man in the moon. Because it's said that if you are given gifts by the magpie, squirrel and cat, I'm thinking magpie, squirrel and cat, because, or magpie, squirrel and owl, but a kind of like with two birds in the thing, I think a cat might be better. The myth says that if these three animals leave gifts at your door, leave stones or rocks at your door, you're in line to be the fairy princess or something like that, like it's a whole mythology. You're in line to be like, to sit on the throne of the realms to watch over the land, that sort of thing. Kind of like Demeter, the goddess of the forest and all of that, kind of like that maybe, but like a Celtic or Welsh or Scottish version. So it's said, and she'll say, black rock or whatever was brought to my grandmother, and she turned it into a necklace and earrings. Because when you find the stone, you're supposed to know what to do with it, and she instinctively turned it into jewelry, and then she gave that to her daughter. The grandmother gave it to her daughter when she was old enough, and then the mum, the woman in the story, her mother, was presented a certain stone or something by a cat. Because I'm just thinking of all the animals that are known to bring you things and collect trinkets and collect things to bring them to you. Like, yeah, like nature's Santa sort of thing, like those sort of animals. But the ones that are known to be mystical, that also rule like mysticism. And that's magpie, cat, owl, squirrel. So she'll tell him, I need to come up with some sort of Celtic, Pict or Welsh name if I film it here, or Scandinavian, whatever, for this fairy. And it'll say like, it is said that when they bring you these things, the man who holds the key to the heart of the woman who carries, the whatever, unlocks the kingdom, or like breaks the spell maybe. Because she was cursed, because they were cursed to lose the love of their lives or something, ever since in the past life he got her executed. That's it. And it said that he, like, I want to say like, it's under a rock, or it's under the rock shaped like the moon, or it's under the moon or something like that. And when he gives it to her, it breaks the spell. And there's like it'll be something like it dooms the woman to never spend their lives with the love of their life, or something like that. It'll be something like that, and when he finds it and gives it to her, it breaks the spell. And then like, the woman in the town or the village or the countries, because I was talking to someone who was from Newcastle on the phone. I was yeah, So then they all the women find true love. It breaks the spell for everyone. But there's a festival where the women and the girls are trying to find it because they want to be the one to break the spell, because it means that she's found her king, her elf king, her wolf king, her Odin, her Zeus, her whatever. She's found the love of her life. She's reunited with the love of her life that she was taken away from in the past lives or something. There'll be one common female ancestor in the village, and all the women who are related to this one common female ancestor have bad luck in love, and it'll be because of him, because of what he did like back in the days of these trials. So now we need to look up all the countries in Europe and that where they had these trials, witch trials, that are like Pendle Hill and all that. So I figured out the animal totems, and then I need to create the myth around it, the folklore around it. So, yeah. So then, of course, when he comes and presents it breaks the spell, because he's got the fourth key to unlock the spell, to break the spell. And then the lands flourish and the women fall in love, and yeah, lots of babies are born and like all that sort of thing. Only her and him can break the spell. It can only be those two. He's the only one that has the stone, the rock, and her stone, her necklace will be, like my green stone, how I've got the green stone and earrings. So there'll be three. The squirrel will runs one stone, which was like the grandmother's, and she turned that into the wee necklace and earrings. The magpie bought the one that the mother turned into the ring, which then she gives to the girl in the movie. And then the girl was delivered by a cat, a stone that she turned into a necklace and earrings as well. And then he brings the stone that gets turned into the ring. So it's 2 necklaces, 2 rings, 2 pair of earrings to make up the jewellery box, the glory box, or the magic box or something. All the girls are given, as soon as the girls turn like 14 or something, they're given this box. Like how they have Welsh spoons. And when you give a Welsh spoon, it's for good luck. It could be something like that. All girls in this country or village or whatever are given this box. And if they are presented with these stones, they're to put them in the box. And if you've unlocked the powers, it turns the box into something, or it opens something in the box, or it's said to unleash some sort of thing in the box, and then it breaks the curse. There. And then the cool thing is, in woodwork class at my foundation, people can make the boxes for real, and like we can sell boxes for people to buy to give their daughters. And the awesome thing is as well is that I'm selling One True Love bracelets and anklets and necklaces and that with purity keys. I'm going to make like a whole range of, I was practicing years and years ago, before all this happened. And so they'll be able to keep like their purity bracelets and anklets and all of that. They're like promise keys. You promise to keep yourself virginal and pure until you get married, and then you hand the person that you're going to marry your key, and they get to have like, it's like symbolizing them having the key to your chastity, like the key to your purity. But there's ones where there'll be 2 keys on it, and your spouse gets 1 key, and then the other key you give to your firstborn. And then, hand it down. So it's like that. So it'll be like these little boxes, and hers will be like old and tatty and blah, 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 because, everyone's mums and grannies and that did witchcraft in those days. Or they were elementals. And so, yeah, and so in the shop, in real life, we'll be able to make, in the woodwork shop and that, People will be able to come, kids will be able to come, and we'll get we'll get really nice ones made, maybe where you can paint them up yourself or something. We'll do like really nice decorated ones, make them look really gorgeous, ranging in price, and you can get them. And then if you buy your kids the purity keys, the One True Love keys, they can keep them in there, and it can be like a whole tradition. And then they can like put their keys on whatever they want when they give them to their first child or their first daughter or whatever they want to do. So it can be like a whole thing, and it can be based on this movie, and then it makes the magic real. Oh my God, then it would make the magic real. So any women whose female bloodline had bad luck in love, it would be breaking a curse for their women bloodline. See, the women in my family all married men that were away in the military or had jobs where they worked, where they were absent, because that was our dad, he was away with the military. And you grow up with what you know, and you look for, they say girls look for men like their fathers and boys look for women like their mothers, which tells you a lot. My dad was cool, he just was absent because he was serving his country, and that's completely fine. It's not what I want. I want to be with a man where we can like be together every day and hopefully work together and be creative together and have adventures together. And I've waited so long that I want the next one, the last man I'm gonna risk giving my matrimonial to in all its full magical glory, to be forever. I want to die with this man. I want to be buried next to him. He's it, that's it. He would be breaking the curse, because all the women in my family, they were either abusive or they were absent, non-available. Men that, they had to wait long hours, days, weeks, months to spend time with, other than over the phone back in those days, because we didn't have tinterwebs. So it was brutal. Letters and Leah, it was brutal. I don't want that. I want someone that's like glued to my hip. Not codependent, not codependency, but because we're able to mesh into each other's lives. I can help him with his work things. He helps me with mine, like we're like a symbiotic relationship. That's what I mean. So, yeah. So now we can do like that. So now I've got to think, well, what are the boxes going to look like? I know exactly what the boxes are going to look like. And little girls in that can, any nice stones and shells that they find, or nice little rocks, or any little things that's precious to them, they can keep them in the box and then hand that box down to their firstborn daughter. And then that can be handed down, and they can add a piece. And oh my God, I just started a whole thing just by writing a RomCom. But yeah, I've actually got videos from back in the day, from before all this happened, because when my ex stabbed me in the shoulder, and I was recovering from the surgery, when I got stabbed with the dirty needle, I was recovering from the surgery, so I was making the jewellery, and I came up with the idea for the chastity keys, for the purity keys, as anklets, bracelets, and necklaces, and like talismans. And you keep one and you give the other to the person you're going to marry. Then when you have a baby, you give it to your firstborn child, and you explain about how, you give it to the one that you going to give yourself to for the rest of your life. That sort of thing. Encouraging people to keep their legs closed until They know they're with the one they're going to spend the rest of their life with. I wish I'd done that, but if I had done that, I wouldn't have had my boys. So you take the good with the bad, I guess. So wow, so that's just ended up becoming like a whole treasure chest of something that I can sell in the store and turn into the start of like a tradition between the females in the family. How cool. Now I need a really cool name for the movie. One that's memorable and the story, the folklore. And I need some sort of special name for the box. You know how you've got like the Dybbuk box, but it'll be not that. It'll be like, yeah. So I've got to look up Celtic, Pict and Welsh mythology now. Yay!